Hi, I'm Ashley Poundall, Sales Director for Meraki UK and Ireland, and I'm joined today by Simon Billington from Wrexham Council.
I'm the ICT and Infrastructure Manager for Wrexham. So my role is to look after the IT and the infrastructure and the networks we have in schools, but also looking after the school buildings themselves.
Well, thank you very much for joining us today. I think we first met 3 or 4 years ago when a project had been defined for effectively putting new infrastructure into all of the schools within Wrexham. Do you want to tell us a bit about that project, how it came about?
It came about following some Welsh Government funding back in 2019, 2020. It's part of the Welsh Government's Hub Infrastructure Programme in schools. Up to date, they've funded about just over £100 million worth of developments in schools. And the first element was based around infrastructure. We needed a network that was going to be reliable. It needed to be safe and secure. And our biggest challenge, and I guess is shared by many authorities, is we have got 70 schools across about 75 sites. But that can be from inner city all the way to a very small school, 20 pupils, based out in the sticks. And what was important for me was to have a consistent network, a consistent platform that would enable teachers, children to learn, to develop, to involve themselves with their tech, no matter where they were in the county borough. Meraki Platform's given us a single pane of glass, an overview of the network from wherever we happen to be as support staff, but equally at whatever point in the network. The other thing that we're realising more recently is the programmability of the platform and being able to access the data that it holds. The use of the Meraki sensors that we've been working with at the moment, had no idea of the information that would give us, developing a much better understanding of the built environment, particularly in our schools, because the environment has a huge impact on learning.
What are the benefits would you say you've seen from your Meraki infrastructure?
Flexibility for teachers to teach in different ways. One of the head teachers pointed out and said, well, Simon, we've added about 5,000 to 10,000 new devices on our network and we haven't noticed.
Wow.
And I think that was testament to say, yes, we've created this network that can support where education needs to go. When we did the project, we swapped out our entire network. Every single switch, every single access point was replaced. And we did that at the start of the pandemic, at the same time as everyone wanting to move learning offline.
Right.
So having a platform that we could actually roll out quickly and effectively was a real game changer. It's allowed teachers to teach in different ways. Learners can learn in different ways. One of the things that we did at the very start of the pandemic was we bought every teacher a laptop. So every teacher in Wrexham now has a laptop that's connected to the network. That means they can go to any school in the network across all our 70 schools and they're always connected.
So as we think about the 3 years that the infrastructure's been in, some great learnings and some great benefits to that. And think about the next 3 years of how you can potentially evolve the platform for more benefits. I believe sustainability is quite important to Welsh Government and to Wrexham in particular, isn't it?
It is. It's a huge one for us now. As a council, we have a commitment to be net zero by 2030, which is a big ask. Within education, the education buildings make up a good 50% of the carbon footprint that we have around buildings and energy use. One of the things that we're finding out is, and working with our partners in CAE, is how we can leverage the information the platform gives us to better understand the estate that we have. So we've been looking at using some of the MT sensors to understand the environment within our schools. Critically, though, one of the things I wanted to look at was traditionally in schools, we have all this technology and we're afraid to turn it off.
Right.
Because we're told, don't turn it off, it might not come back up again. And if that happens in a school, that's a big problem. If children turn up in the morning, there's no network. So we've explored the ability to turn off the port schedules. So it's been running 5 months now. It's absolutely brilliant. So the network goes off in most schools at 8:30 in the evening, comes back on again at 7:30 in the morning.
What kind of benefits has that shown you from a sustainability point of view?
Really surprising, actually. Really surprising. Considering these APs are little 10-watt devices, we've got a little over 1,200 of them in schools. But turning them off for that period of time, over a year, we expect to make cost savings on the electricity of about £22,000 a year. And we're saving in the region of 10 metric tons of carbon every year just by doing that.
So a significant
Very
contribution.
significant.
So within the platform, as you've seen, there's an enormous amount of data that's collected. So you can obviously see that data natively within Dashboard, but also via API. There's quite a large number of third-party developer organisations that make applications available to take advantage of the data. Are you working with any of those organisations, and to what end?
We are very closely, and to be honest with you, it's the support that we've had from Meraki and from our technology partners that's enabled us to get where we are. Simple things like utilising Power BI to actually aggregate the data, not just from one school, but across all our schools, all parts of the school. It's allowed us to very quickly drill down into what's going on and get a much, much better awareness. I think one of the biggest game changers for us, going back towards the beginning of the project, was how do we actually swap out every single switch, every single access point across 70 schools in the middle of a pandemic without impacting on learning. That was quite a big challenge. It was the flexibility of the platform, I think the ingenuity of the technology partners that enabled us to build the provisioning system, that we were able to provision a network for a school, large secondary school, in a couple of hours. And that is from unboxing, putting onto our asset management system, exporting from our asset management system into the Meraki platform. Network was built, provision, all the policies downloaded to the devices. We would then arrange to go in after hours in the school, literally swap the old switches out for the new ones, new access points, and they'd be up and running next day.
What other aspirations do you have for the platform as you look towards the next 5 years or so?
To keep developing. One of the things we do see is that Meraki as a platform and as an organisation keep innovating, keep refreshing. There's many times over the last sort of 4 or 5 years where we've been contacted, oh, this is coming out, this is coming out. Conversations today on new technologies that are coming just around the corner. Certainly within education, I can see loads of opportunities around utilising the platform, understanding our built environment a lot more, and then critically doing something about it. But having that in one place, that's the big game changer. I have one platform I go to, one dashboard, and I can see everything.
Simon, thank you for spending time with us today. It's really good to hear how you've got benefit from the Meraki platform. And I look forward to continuing to work with you and Wrexham. Thank you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.